Anyway, so let's move on. And since we were talking about Miss Spears, let's get into this whole Britney situation. Okay, so apparently they're trying to get her back into a conservatorship because, according to some people that she knows, they're saying that the star's mental health and alleged substance abuse issues worsen. And so now, multiple sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ that Britney's mental health has been in a tailspin since the conservatorship ended. They say she often is not taking the meds that stabilize her because they were saying that I think she's bipolar. I wonder if she's got a little schizophrenia thrown up in there too. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what her situations is, but I've heard people mention like certain things, but I have heard bipolar disorder. So it says that and she's drinking and using various drugs, which is especially dangerous because she has substance abuse problems that sent her to rehab multiple times. Now we're told Britney has radical mood swings and often goes into rages that ends in physical violence. There were times we're told it's impossible to communicate with her because she can't engage in rational conversation. Well, we've seen all that on social media where it seemed like she can't have a rational conversation with people because it do seem like she be out there where the buses don't run. And I'm like, when we've seen her with that runny ass mascara looking like a full on raccoon and them nappy ass weave and them horrible ass brown shoes and them though in the panties of a 4-year-old pop dipping, spinning and twirling in that foyer, I'd be like, this is probably her having an episode. And I don't understand why it's a problem for people to just be like, can we acknowledge the fact that something ain't right with her ass? Why is it that it's a problem to bring up like, okay, this is not regular people behavior? Like, if you as a normal person don't be acting like this, why is it an excuse for her? And then I heard this story too recently. I saw on social media that she was chasing Sam Asghari with a damn chainsaw. And then there was a situation where she was scratching him and cutting him up and the knives, and then people trying to equate, well, Shakira was dancing with knives. I'm like, first of all, you ain't never seen Shakira dance with no knives on no fucking Instagram. You've seen Shakira dancing with knives in a show, and it's rehearsed. And also, Shakira is half Lebanese. If you know anything about Arab people, Lebanese, anybody who's from like Pakistan, Afghanistan, that sort of thing, like a lot of Iran, whatever you call it, any kind of, person with an Arabic background. A lot of that is a part of the culture where you see like people dancing, like they could be in a fire pit with knives and stuff. That's a part of the culture. And they ain't going around chasing people and like Carrie White mother when she stabbed Carrie at the end of that damn movie, running down the stairs like Piper Laurie, may she rest in peace. Like, you don't see her doing that shit, but it's okay for Britney to do it. It's an excuse. I'm tired of people making excuses for people's psychotic behavior. Because if a regular person was to do that shit to you, would you make an excuse? But because it's your fave, people people are okay with it. So they said what's even more problematic. We're told her current boyfriend, Paul Solis, why you always got to point out he a felon? We know he a felon. They said he's running her house and her life. Now, TMZ mentioned that Britney and Solis got into a physical fight after a night of drinking at the Chateau Marmont Hotel on the Sunset Strip, where she ended up half naked in the hallway. Yeah, because she had them little girl panties on, with no shoes on, foot swollen, probably from all the damn germs and shit from the street. Because remember, Britney is no stranger to walking around barefoot in places that got all kinds of diseases in the damn floor. Probably got all kinds of growing fungus that get between them toes. So I wouldn't be surprised she ended up with gout. To keep that up. So it says an ambulance was called after Britney hurt her ankle and badly. They also got into a fight in a Vegas hotel room and caused so much damage, Britney paid the hotel thousands of dollars for repairs. So now she paid all this money out of her pocket for damaging hotels. She messing with this felon that TMZ loves to point out. And then remember, at one point, Paul's, I don't know if are they still married? The ex-wife, the current wife, somebody wife, but he got a bunch of damn kids with her. She came out and said some stuff about Paul, saying that he ain't paying child support, him and taking care of his kids, that he basically just ran over and using Britney house as a halfway house, so that way he got some place to stay because he's a felon. So now he's using Britney as his little situation. And Britney be going through her situation, her episode. She loved dick because she done said that many a time. And this is not me slut shaming. But Britney loved the dick. She said ever since she got her first whiff of it back in the day, she liked the penis. And ain't nothing wrong with liking dick, but girl, you need to start picking the right ones and stay away from the wrong ones. Stay away from the toxic dick. to reference one of her classics. You slipping under, sis. Now it says TMZ now knows that this is behind that what was behind the bedroom surveillance, and they said it was nothing because it didn't happen. 5 sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ there was never bedroom surveillance. Because because they were trying to say that there was a story that Britney's bedroom was secretly bugged, which people in the Free Britney movement felt was gross invitation of privacy. The cry to end the conservatorship was like a tidal wave, so much the judge who ended it shockingly didn't even order a medical evaluation. And that's what probably should have been added to her situation. Like, if she wants to refuse medical attention stuff, that's her prerogative because she's an adult. However, there should have been something that was placed in let's get you out of the conservatorship. Like, to me, I don't feel like she belonged in the conservatorship. The way that she was treated in that conservatorship was atrocious. The way her father handled a lot of situations in that conservatorship, or the people she had that was in charge of that, I felt like that was disgusting based on the stuff that we heard. But it should be a requirement for her to have an evaluation. I don't know how many times a year you want to do it. You could do it every 6 months, every 3 months, or every year. It should have been a requirement for her to have an evaluation to see where she's at. Now, them talking about this whole conservatorship, putting her back in the conservatorship, I don't agree with that. I feel like she's at a point, y'all got her free, and this is the repercussions. If she don't want to get the help that she needs before she ends up no longer in the union, then that is Britney's decision. She's over 40. So whatever her decision is her decision. But I did see this video of Dr. Drew Pinsky that I want to play on. Wait, hold on. Where he was talking about the whole Britney situation. Because I had to go to my page and pull that up. Because I was going to try to open it, but I don't know. TMZ, y'all be working my nerves sometimes. So please hold.
Conservatorships in California are almost impossible to come by. They're very difficult to get. As you mentioned, Harvey, another conservatorship seems almost, I don't see how that could possibly happen. And they've gotten more and more and more difficult to come by as time has gone on since her original conservatorship. So here's what we know. She was hospitalized for 2 weeks at Cedars back in her original presentation. That is against her will. That is a status held for the most severely ill psychiatric patients. Then she went from that to conservatorship. The conservatorship worked beautifully. I was saying at the time that they kept her alive. She would not have survived given the condition she was in. And then she wanted to try off. I also supported that. I mean, look, she wants to try off conservatorship. Fine. It's not going to go well. There's going to be decompensations. It's a nature of her illness. And here we are. The problem with bipolar disorder is, amongst many things, is people lose insight. It's called anosognosia. It's actually a biological block in the insight to what's happening to them, A. And then B, if you throw substances into it, that is just lighting it on fire. Bipolar is kind of, you can think of it like a seizure disorder. It's the brain goes in these cycles that are biological, and people aren't aware they're happening. When it happens to them, it causes strange behavior, strange thoughts, and the public is not used to seeing this. They're going to see more as time goes on.
Is there anything that people around Britney could say or do that would make that apparent to her?
No, unfortunately, because there's often paranoia and agitation, and if there's drug addiction or drug abuse in there mixed with it, they certainly don't want to stop that. They don't want to hear about that.
You're painting a very realistic but bleak picture. What can be done in this case?
Again, let's remind ourselves that with severe mental illness, particularly when you throw substances in, people end up on the streets. And on the streets of Los Angeles, they're dying at the rate of 8 a day. That's what's happening on our streets. Just because Britney is a celebrity with resources does not exempt her from that natural history. That's how things go. So unless she makes some sort of claim that she's going to hurt herself or hurt someone else or loses her ability to take care of herself, she's severely, gravely disabled, no one can really do anything. It's the horrible thing. You could try to do an intervention, maybe bring a group of people, a show of force. Sometimes is helpful, and then urge her then to get further care. But you've heard her, I think we've all heard her talk about, she was in a long-term dual diagnosis program, did beautifully, now claims that was a program that was abusive to her and was holding her prisoner, which was nonsense.
So there you have it. Is that there were things put in place that did help her. Now, yeah, I'm sure there was some extreme things that she didn't agree with, and they had signed off to get her the help that she needs. And we did say at one point that she was on the right track, but until now that she's out of the conservatorship, and now that she's off on her own and doing whatever, she's not taking her medications, she's self-medicating by drinking and doing drugs allegedly and all these other things. And self-medication is far worse. And we see a lot of that happening. Like, I guess maybe I see more of this because I live in New York, and we see a lot of cases of homeless people who have mental issues that are on the streets that are using drugs, be it meth, be it, and which Britney has been accused of using, or alcohol or whatever. And it's not just alcohol; it's literally like that cheap vodka that I be seeing people on the train just drinking, taken to the head, no chaser, just drinking. And I be watching them because they be on the train. Like, we be dealing with homeless people and shit on the train, and they be self-medicating and all other shit, and it's like they be out of it. So, or a lot of times you see like the people that be doing heroin or whatever case. Like, I saw a guy yesterday, shirtless, scarred up, hair looking a mess, standing in the middle of the damn, sidewalk as I'm coming out of the gym on my way to, what was I? Oh, I was going to get me something to eat because I had to eat something. I was going to pass out because my dumb ass decided to work out on an empty stomach, which you should never do. So, but and then also on top of that, it was hot as hell in New York, and still is. But yesterday was crazy. But anyway, enough about me. The whole situation with is like we see this stuff happening all the time. So my thing is like, I don't know. I feel like we just there's a huge epidemic that's going on, especially with people who have mental health issues and stuff. And I feel like there's not enough resources put in place, or not even enough case managers that can help this workload or help deal with a lot of these type of situations. There's a lot of people that's going through some mental stuff, and we are a stressed out society, especially what's going on, especially with our government and all this other stuff. So with all of that, I feel for Britney. I'm rooting for her to get better, but at the end of the day, she has to be willing to get the help that she needs. And if she's not willing to come to a place of wanting to get herself together, then what can we do? So I feel like we're at a point where we're at a rock and a hard place, and we're just going to have to watch a train wreck happen in real time. Because until Britney is willing to get all the help that she needs, and I get it, she doesn't trust the medical industry because of how she was treated or how she feels that she was treated. And maybe that could be a product of the mental disorder. The fact that when you have an episode, you don't trust the people that are around you because you think they want to take advantage of whatever the case is. And it could be those voices in your head, don't trust them, they're evil, those sort of things. So is it the logic side of your brain talking, or is that the disease that's talking, that's eating at your brain and really is being louder, the louder part of yourself telling you not to take the medication? If there's nobody there to force you or just be on you, be like, okay, it's 9 o'clock. 9 a.m. time for you to take your medicine. It's 3 o'clock. It's time for you to take your medicine. Okay, you going to bed? Okay, you about to go to bed in an hour? Start taking your medicine. Like, there's nobody there to make sure that Britney is doing what she needs to do for herself. But like we said, she grown. Y'all want her free. This is what the product of the situation is. So all we can do is sit and just hope for the best. And God forbid, if something does happen to her, I don't want to hear none of y'all come out with these woulda, coulda, shouldas, because while y'all was sitting over here defending every little thing she does, and y'all need to leave her alone, we left her alone, and look what the fuck happened. So, shout out to Britney, and that's that. But let me know what you guys think of this story down below.